So,
Perfect.
so how are you today? Happy 4th of July.
Yes, happy
Hopefully,
4th of July.
hopefully you have plans later. Maybe to go see some fireworks on top of your roof or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm actually going to have some friends over. We're going to hang out at the pool, and we're going to have some drinks, and we're going to actually bought our own fireworks.
Nice.
So,
Of course, social distancing for any Arizona law enforcement watching.
mm,
No, no.
you know what? Nah, bring it on, everybody. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's like that's the first question. Is how are you dealing with this whole pandemic?
Well, you do what you can. You don't really have a whole lot of options otherwise, so, kind of is what it is. Um, I've got my 13-year-old. We hang out a lot and play a lot of video games, so that's been a lot
Fun.
of fun. Um, yeah,
Nice. So, what games are you guys playing?
we play a lot of City of Heroes, which is a
City of
lot of fun.
Heroes.
City of
Interesting.
Heroes. It's an MMO. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Originally came out in 2004. We
Nice.
also played Grim Dawn. Divinity is super cool. Last night I was playing, and within a few minutes I got set on fire and got poisoned. Amazing.
Well, only in video games, right? Where
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? I got poisoned. It's okay. We'll
Yeah.
just drink the antidote. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Set on fire. Yeah. Just but a scratch, right?
Right. Exactly. The whole Monty Python thinking.
Exactly.
So, how did you discover cosplay?
Well, so it's actually kind of so I've always been interested in superheroes and characters. When I was a real little girl, my idols were actually Poison Ivy, which is why I've been doing that a lot lately. Also Storm, I loved Storm. Anytime I played with my friends, I always wanted to pretend to be superheroes, and I would usually be between those two. Or make my own kind of enchantress that would have like both superpowers, kind of a thing.
Nice.
So I've always had an interest in it, and then in 2012, that's when it really kicked off for me, where I was like, wait a minute, I can actually do that. I can actually dress up, and I can make costumes because I can sew and whatnot, and I do have a creative personality, so I do enjoy those sort of things. So it just kind of took off.
Very nice. So, what was your first cosplay?
My first one I did Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yeah,
Yeah,
because based off of your Instagram, it actually almost looks like you worked for Disney.
I
And
know.
I'm like,
Yeah,
wow.
I do get that a lot. I do. I used to actually work for Disney. I was in the parades though,
Hmm.
so I used to do that. But those pictures are actually my photos and not Disney.
Yeah, it's like those are my photos. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's you hear all the rumors of Disney is like where um, there's always the underbelly of Disney, like how they treat their characters, how they treat their staff, and you're like, is that actually true?
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Without
Yeah,
revealing NDA contracts. No, I've heard from a couple cast members where like, yeah, it was fun when I was young. Now no.
yeah. It's and I get this all the time. People are like, "Oh, you should come work at Disneyland and go be one of the princesses." I love what I
Done
do
that.
more.
Yeah.
Because what I do, and the reason why I do it, well, for the kid aspect, because I've got both sides.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy obviously isn't exactly the most kid friendly, although I have had kids who actually love Poison Ivy, so that's been great. But the ones that are more kid friendly and kid oriented, I love doing this
Yeah.
because what it does for the kids when they see you and their eyes light up, that's my ultimate favorite thing, and I get to spend more time with the kids, which is amazing, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's a really modest poison ivy outfit, though. And so
yes,
it's good though because it doesn't matter what kind of cosplay you're doing as long as you're having fun in it, and that's the most important thing. So, what are your next three cosplay plans?
well, I'm working on a gender bend of Trunks for Dragon
Trunks.
Ball Z.
Okay,
I'm a
from
big
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z fan. I have been since actually Dragon Ball was a thing.
Hmm.
So that's always a lot of fun. So that's one of my next ones. I'm finishing up my Poison Ivy. I'm not done with it. It's not complete. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
doing the full leaves
Yeah.
for the sleeve and whatnot. Full leaves on the whole corset piece that you see
Oh,
here.
yep.
Right now, I was just outlining it, which is
Oh,
I thought
nice.
it was kind of fun, but I'm like, oh, you know what? Go home or go big, go home. So I'm gonna do the
Yeah.
whole thing and then leave.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun. Lots of work. left to do.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's the great thing about cosplay is you could always add to it. You could always make it better. You could always put your own twist to it as
Oh
well.
no, I have multiples of the same characters. Like I have 5 different Elsas.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
So, what have you ever been in cosplay contests like masquerades over at cons, or do you feel
Um.
like maybe I'm too like I'm past that level now? Because there's different degrees of cosplayers. It's like,
I don't do the contests. I don't really care for the contest either because everybody has their own opinions, their own interests, their own styles.
yeah,
And actually, I was just having a conversation with my daughter this morning. Um, Cosplay is it's like literally one of the most like unracist things, right?
yeah,
Because it doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter what color you are, what size you are. You can be any size and portray these characters. And
hmm
that's my favorite thing about cosplay is it's not about what you look like or whatever. It's about what makes you feel and be able to
yeah,
create those characters and become your favorite characters. For me, that's the best thing about it. So I don't like those competitions because who's to say that one person's better than the other? It's based off your own opinion and I
yeah,
don't feel like it's okay to really put people down.
yeah,
I'm actually the princess at the Renaissance Festival, and we do this competition, princess contest for little girls, and I can't stand it because I'm
yeah,
like, I want all little girls to win.
yeah. Exactly,
You
exactly.
know?
You want them all to win, and like because they all look great in their little cosplays. But
Yeah,
however, do you feel that maybe if you look like the part, or if you're more like the figure of the part, shape of the part, you're gonna get more attention?
that definitely does happen, and that's the truth of the matter. It definitely does happen.
Yeah.
Um, it's all about perspective, about what catches their eye or whatnot. I personally I follow a wide variety of cosplayers of different sizes and ages and whatnot, and I
hmm
just think anybody who really takes the time to put their effort into it and want to be that, they deserve the attention.
Of course, yes. And the unfortunate thing is that cosplay, the negative side of cosplay is that people have sexualized cosplay. That it's like, oh, cosplay's for girls because that's what we want to see. And I'm like, huh? So what's
Yeah,
your opinion about that?
I actually really don't like that. I don't like how sexualized it's become. I mean, literally, you've got girls who are just they'll just throw on a wig
Yep.
and they look at the red wig, okay,
Yeah.
and then they'll do like their eye makeup, and then they'll be like naked, like, oh, I'm poisoned.
And you're like,
No, no,
nope.
you're not. No,
Poison
you're
Ivy
not.
had clothes.
Yep, exactly. So that I'm really, really not a fan of. I don't. That's the part that I don't like. I don't like how sexualized it has become.
yeah.
Girls are allowing it, and guys are loving it.
Yeah.
And until honestly people start standing up and put an end to it, it's not going to change.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. So, do you prefer sewing, armor making, or wig working?
That is a really good question. I would probably say sewing, because I mean, even just sewing on little tiny beads,
Yeah.
it's when you see it come together, it's really
Mhm.
fun, and
Okay.
it's I don't know, I find that more pleasing, I guess you can say.
Yeah. For my situation, I don't do any of my cosplays because I lack that talent. I'm slowly learning it. Hopefully, maybe if my wife wants to teach me. But she made this cosplay behind me for herself for the Renaissance Festival.
Oh,
All handmade, no pattern. And I'm like, how in the world, woman, did you do that? And she's
yeah,
like, that is
no, that's
insane.
amazing.
But I'm like, when she was making it, I'm like, you gotta like tone it down. You do not want to rival the queen, okay? you know, and
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like probably one of my most complicated pieces I've done. I would say Iron Man.
Iron
I have
Man.
an Iron Man that I've made out of EVA foam. Most of it's EVA foam, and that was quite a pain.
Yeah, that would
It
that
was
would.
you get the heat gun and you have to mold it, and then I had to go to this paint store in Mesa. It's like this big giant rainbow, and I had to look for a specific type of red of paint, and it's called like like a Mustang red or
Yeah.
something. I made that back in 2015. Yeah.
No, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's pretty fun. And then like the lights in the chest, that took some tweaking and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's always like a mystery how people make these Iron Man cosplays or Halo cosplays out of EVA foam, and you're like, wow, how did you do that? Not out of metal, because I'm looking at a cosplay right now for Iron Man on full armor body, like fullbodyarmor.com, where it's like a complete Iron Man metal suit that the helmet opens up and everything, and
Oh
you
yeah.
could step out of it, and the whole suit opens up. You could step into it. It's 10 grand, and
Oh my god.
I'm like, that would be the dream.
Yeah.
But it's just like, but when you see these cosplays that are made out of EVA foam, and you're just like, how did you do that? And it's like constant heating, and plus also we live in Arizona, so it's just like,
I was about to say we live in Arizona too, so it takes constant maintenance. It
yeah, constant.
really does.
Yeah. Whereas, do you like to work with EVA foam, or have you ever worked with Warbler?
I worked that with too. It's just EVA foam's easier to get a hold of
Okay.
for me, and it's just you just quickly go get it. And I don't know, I do like how it does bend.
Mm.
I don't know. I've worked with that the most.
Yeah, EVA, and plus it's cheaper. So.
Much
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah. Whereas you don't want to spend 200, 300, $400 on cosplay, and you're like, okay, yes, it's my passion. But I don't want to go poor. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
Exactly.
So with photo shoots, have you ever do you prefer the backdrop, or do you like to do the on location?
Honestly, on location. I
Yeah.
really do. I have a beautiful backyard. I've got tons and tons of trees and bushes
Mm-hmm.
and flowers and tons of fruit trees and grass
Mm-hmm.
and I love when I take photos around there and it's much better. I think personally, and it's more fun. And then you have things to actually interact with, which I really enjoy. So, like, I did some photos of some of my poison ivy out there in my backyard, and
Mm-hmm.
so I was able to kind of like hold on to the tree, and and it just makes a difference.
Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's there's always the debate whether it's like you should do the backdrop, or you should be like doing green screen, or on location. Yeah, I agree with the whole on location, but of course, once again, Arizona, it's really hot, and I remember when I was doing my Link cosplay, we were out in the mountain area over here on West Buckeye, over on Watson Road,
Oh, okay.
Sunrise Park, I believe it's called, and the wind was just blowing, and I'm like, take like 70 pictures. One of them is gonna take pic. And we got this cool picture. It was like the wind just like made my wig perfect. I'm like, okay, yeah, finally.
Very
but
cool.
but I was like, no, why? You were not
Oh,
windy like 10 minutes ago. Why are you now windy?
right. I know. I had this one photo shoot while I was Ariel, and I was wearing this big pink fluffy gown, and the wind kept blowing and blowing and blowing the gown and everything. And I get really silly during photo shoots, both for modeling and for cosplay.
Yeah.
So I'm a total dork. And I literally turned towards the wind as it's like blowing my hair on the dress, and I was like,
And you're like,
and
eh, like
I
you're,
started laughing. Yeah, and she took
yeah.
a picture of it. So it's super fun.
Nice. Well, no, that's the great thing about cosplay. You're having fun, and
Yeah.
because a lot of people take themselves seriously, and like they get upset, and you can tell in the pictures that they were not happy during that photo shoot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, your emotion definitely affects your photos, and that's how it is in modeling too. And it's if as for cosplay, like you really have to feel your character. Don't just I don't like when people just put something on because they thought, oh, this will look cool. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel that character. You gotta
Mhm.
become that character, and that to me is one of my favorite parts about it as well. You really have to feel it, and it shows your emotions show in photos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people always say that your eyes can tell if you're smiling or not. You can tell if you're smiling in your eyes, because now that we're all wearing masks, people are like, well, how does anybody know that I'm happy? I was like, your eyes will show it. and and
Yeah.
then people are like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So, what are your favorite cosplays that you've done?
Snow White is definitely one of them. I love Cinderella. The reason I like those two a lot, honestly, is because I really, really become those princesses when I put them on. So for Snow White, I'm very like,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
oh my, and
Yeah.
I really become the character. Same thing with Cinderella.
Nice.
I like those a lot. I like Black Widow. That's a lot of fun, especially like I like the guns, the holsters on my
Yep,
sides.
of course. Yeah,
I
unless you're
really
walking through South Phoenix and it's not fun.
right. Yeah, so I really like those. I'm known as Elsa the most, but that was just because that's what I was known as, but
Okay.
doesn't favorite.
Yeah.
Uh, Bulma is a lot of fun on a personal level for me, just because again I love Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
You know,
Yep.
but I would say probably Snow White and Cinderella are my and Black Widow. Well, now Poison Ivy's become my favorite
Yeah, of
because
course. You're putting a lot of work into it, and
yeah,
it's that's I think that's also another thing is the amount of work you put into a cosplay it becomes your favorite because you're devoting so much time and effort into that cosplay.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So one of my Cinderella dresses took me forever to do because I literally had to sew on every little piece of lace, every piece
Hmm.
of like little tiny bead, every little thing, and this dress has a lot of detail to it. I have four different Cinderellas. Yeah, four different Cinderellas, and I'm talking about one specific Cinderella dress that took me forever. It's
Nice.
so I don't. Let me try this again.
Okay.
So, Party City, they just recently changed their princess look for the decorations,
Okay.
but it had before, it had this the Cinderella that was more of a darker Cinderella
Oh,
that had lots of
interesting.
sparkles on it and whatnot. It was super pretty and was honestly my inspiration for this specific Cinderella dress. And
Nice.
it's more of a darker blue with, of course, lighter blues on it, but
Hmm.
it's covered in pearl and lace, the whole thing, and it took me
Nice.
forever to do.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
it's yeah, I had to buy the material to get the right kind of blues. It took forever, and the maintenance on it is insane as well because you have to hand wash it, and the more you
Mm.
hand wash it, the more the dye comes out. So then
Yep.
you have to make sure you keep doing the same type of dyes every time.
Exactly. So yeah, whoever did your photo for Snow White on your Instagram account, it's like, wow, that is like an amazing picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did an amazing job,
Yeah.
and she's phenomenal. And the one with the seven guinea pigs.
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
those are actually my guinea pigs.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, I have seven guinea pigs. So
That's
and I
that's
always
talent.
they're so cute and
Yeah.
they love me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But that she was amazing, and that photo shoot itself for that one photo took
Hmm.
3.5 hours
Wow.
because we had to place each individual guinea pig, and I had to keep posing for that one guinea pig, and then we have to zoom in on the guinea pig, and then I would have to try to bribe it with an apple to get it to do what we wanted to do. So
Of
some of the
course.
guinea pigs are reaching out with its neck. That's because I've got an apple and I'm pulling away.
Oh wow, smart.
Yeah. So it took 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's always fun to look at different cosplayers' photo shoots, and it's just like, wow, the amount of talent that comes into the photographer, the cosplayer, the whole outfit in general, and it's like the lighting, everything. It's phenomenal.
Oh
So,
yeah.
um, what what type of character do you cosplay frequently?
Now
Yeah,
with the pandemic.
yeah, yeah,
Right. Well, recently it's been Poison Ivy.
yep.
Kind of been doing that a lot. Beforehand, though, actually, she actually is kind of one of my favorites too. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. I did the movie version of Wonder Woman. I do have the classic Wonder Woman as well. I haven't worn that in like 3 years though, maybe 4 years now.
Yeah.
Um, but Wonder Woman, I was Wonder Woman a lot before the pandemic happened. That was probably when I was most popular. It just not only was it requested, but I was doing a lot of events, a lot of charity events,
Nice.
and Wonder Woman is it's super fun, and I really think that mine came together really well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of charity uh, organizations around Arizona, especially with Put on the Cape, Heroes United AZ, the Resident Evil Arizona. Arizona Hive, Umbrella Corporation, lots of cool charity organizations that I remember when my nephew his birthday was coming up. And so I contacted Heroes United AZ, and my nephew, he's autistic, and so I dress up like Spider Man, a lot. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, he came up to me and goes, "Hey, Spider Man." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Can you bring Batman here for my birthday?" I'm like, "Well, I'll check and see." And like, he's in a different like type of division than me, but I will try. And I was like, so I got in contact with Gus, and I was like, "Do you have a Batman?" And he was like, "Yeah, we do." And so there it was. Like on the day of his birthday, somebody from Heroes United came over, and we hung out with my nephew for like an hour or two, and then he was like, "Bye, Batman. Bye, Spider-Man." Of course, I come in, is like, dressed in regular clothes. Is like, "Hey, did you see Spider-Man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I saw him. He's flying over there." Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
not
fun.
just the best. I love it, and that's the main reasons why I do it.
Yeah, for the children. So, what is the best interaction that you've had as a cosplayer with someone?
Oh, there's so many. One actually was Wonder Woman. I was at this event, and it was for Backfit. It's a chiropractor company. They actually do a really good job, by the way. No advertisement there.
Get go get ching.
Right? I know it was there. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, right, exactly. No, like
But
the way I say it, if you need to name drop, feel free to name drop all you want.
oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Shelly Franklin, she's the one that did the guinea pig photo.
Okay.
So, I got a hair in my mouth. Got a hairy situation. Um, so I was at this event, and I was dressed as Wonder Woman, and this little girl comes up to me, and she's just like, oh, and I was like, and I just started talking to her, and she looked at me, she goes, you look so powerful. And I was like, oh, heart,
Yep.
heart. And the dad was telling me about how big of a fan she is of Wonder Woman and that Wonder Woman has meant so much to her on a personal level. That's actually one of the reasons why I started doing Wonder Woman, because once the
Yeah.
movie came out, for me, it was like an eye opener of what Wonder Woman actually means.
Yeah.
So that's actually why I started doing her. So it was a
Yeah.
little fun tip
Well, yeah,
that got
exactly.
me. So that was fun. Also, another one, I was Snow White, and this
Hmm.
old lady. She was old, and she said she remembered when Snow White came out, and she has always wanted to go to Disneyland to meet Snow White, and she's only been once, and Snow White wasn't there that day, and so she never
Oh,
met Snow White. Always wanted to meet her,
yeah.
and so she gave me a hug and took pictures with her, and she was crying.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice
Yeah.
that you, like, as a cosplayer, you get to fulfill a person's dream or want or desire. Where it's just like, I've always wanted to meet the actress that played Wonder Woman, and you look like Wonder Woman right now. It's sort of- and
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. And that's where it comes to where uh, where cosplayers can actually help out a lot of people. And in the future of cosplaying, more and more people get into it. More and more people help out with charitable organizations and everything. So,
Yeah.
what would be the most detailed cosplay that you've done? Would you say the Cinderella dress, or do you think the one you're working on now is Poison Ivy? It's going to be the most detailed.
Well, Cinderella has a lot of details. I should probably pull up pictures so I can show you which Cinderella I'm referring to. It really, really has a lot of detail. But there's
Okay.
also one of my Elsas that I did took me forever to do because the corset is little tiny individual pieces like little flakes, and
Mm,
I made the
okay.
corset so hard with all like the materials and stuff and the starch that it's like hard like a table. So when kids
Ooh.
give me a hug and I'm wearing the corset, it's like it's ice. Yeah. And I can show you the picture of that one, and that one
Yeah.
took me 4 months.
Wow.
So that was a long, long process.
Wow.
Um,
No, I,
yeah,
I
it
think
was.
I think in general, it's for anybody who wears a corset. Bravo. Like, being able to
Yeah,
breathe and walk around and talk. Good luck. Good luck.
but breathing's overrated. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, who needs to
Yeah.
breathe these
Yeah.
days?
You're right.
that corset, and was so awful. But that one was actually really, really bad for me, and I'm having some bad side effects from it. But I still just suck it up if it's like not as long as an event. But
Yeah.
I have scoliosis. There's a little personal thing for
Ooh,
you. I have
ouch.
scoliosis. And so, unfortunately, if I'm wearing a corset and it's forcing my spine to go straight, I then have back spasms and it tenses up my back, and I'm in a lot of pain for days. And that's what that corset was doing to me because it's so firm. There is no, well, letting the material adjust to your body or whatnot. Nope.
No. No.
It
Yeah.
was really, it was bad. But it was fun, and I still love it, and it's still one of my favorites. And
Of
it's
course. Of course.
yeah,
Well, beauty, pain is sacrificed for beauty, right? Or is that like where it's
yeah.
always, you have to sacrifice the pain for beauty?
Yeah, beauty is pain. And another one of my favorites that I actually did was I did a Snow Queen. And
Okay.
I don't mean Elsa, I mean the Snow Queen. And that one was probably one of my favorites that I did
Oh,
because
wow. Very
I put
nice.
a lot of thank you. Like the cloak is lined in fur. I've got I did lots of makeup, I did rhinestones. I've got glitter all over my body to look like ice. The corset, the skirt, everything. Tons of snowflakes all over me. It's that one was probably one of my favorites because everyone's like, "Oh, you're Elsa, you're the Snow Queen." I'm like, I'll show you Snow Queen.
Yeah.
So then I made the Snow Queen from the actual original story, and I really love the way it turned out. I got super excited about that one.
Yeah, it's always funny. One joke I heard is anybody who's dating a cosplayer or married to a cosplayer, it's not unnormal to always have glitter all over you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
It's
glitters
always
everywhere.
natural. It's always natural. It's like, hey, did you go to a strip club? I'm like, no, my wife's a cosplayer.
Exactly. So I found the corset one. I can show you what I'm referring to. So this
Oh
one right
wow, you can
here.
definitely tell that has a lot of boning.
Yeah, it is so firm that it's literally like you pick it up and it's even heavy, and your body is not going to go anywhere with that one. It's
Yep.
you're stiff as a board, but I mean it was great. And then this is the Cinderella that I was talking about. So I'll pull it up here.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, you could definitely tell the detail in that already.
yeah,
And
and if like you can look it up, see all that. I had to sew on every piece of lace, every piece of pearl, everything.
wow.
And then even on the sleeves, I had to do all of that. And then the bottom of the dress is also all lined with pearl and
Wow.
ribbon and lace. So that
That's
was
a
a huge project, but I fell in love with it because it was exactly what I had envisioned when I had seen that photo of at Party City of their version of Cinderella. I loved it.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the hardest thing right now is just trying to get the material for cosplays because everybody's buying material, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need some linen. I need linen, and but talking to the cosplayers for the past few weeks, I've learned that there's lots of places to go for materials. Where are your favorite places to go?
Sass is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
look them up because every cosplayer I've interviewed says SAS, and I'm like, I've never heard of it.
It's amazing. I really do. I have found like the best types of material there that I've used for some of my Elsas, and I mean, I really like the place. I really do,
Yeah, nice.
and especially because there's such a huge variety, and there's even like a bin that has like a bunch of scraps of different types of materials. So if you just need something small, I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for material for Doctor Strange, and we can never find the right blue, the right.
Right?
And I'm like, man, it was like we found the perfect pattern for the back line, the inside lining of the cape from Sunflower, because
Oh,
they
nice.
they printed the whole design. But yeah, getting the blue, it has proven to be problematic. But hopefully, with
Very,
going to SAS, maybe I'll find it finally.
yeah.
So, do you prefer to do like your detailing yourself, or do you commission it?
A little bit of both, and honestly, depends on the character itself. If I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that, then I'll do it. Like that Cinderella,
Yeah,
I wanted to do that. I was
yeah,
like, nope, this is my baby. This is my project. I know exactly what I want, so I did it. So it just kind of depends on what the character is and what it's going to be.
Yeah, and a lot of people, who cosplay as well, they have 9 to 5 jobs.
Yeah.
So it's funny because when I wanted to start the project and I named it Cosplay Interview, my wife is like, "Oh, you should have came to me. We could have been like behind the mask, behind the makeup, or stuff type of thing." I'm like, "Well, darn it, that's what I get for not consulting."
Right.
But
Get away.
yeah,
Consult with
yeah,
her.
exactly. But who is Candie Cosplay behind the makeup, behind the mask? Like, what do you do for your 9 to 5 job, or is this your 9 to 5 job?
Honestly, that's such a funny question because like I do have a little part-time job during the week, but it's like
Nice,
part-time. We're talking 12 to 16 hours a week, so it's like super part-time. Honestly, this is what I do.
nice.
This is my full-time gig.
Plus, you said you have a 13-year-old, so that's you're a full time mommy, and
Yeah, I got to take care of her, and then I also do acting and modeling. But those are honestly my those are my jobs.
nice, very nice. It's
With a lot of
it's you know it's always good to see where people were before and where they're going. So, like looking at your career path, are you going into the trajectory that you want?
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of things coming up, a lot of projects coming up that is really putting me in the right direction that I've always wanted to go and was never able to go
Nice,
into. So, I'm super excited.
nice,
Honestly, it's
very
really going.
nice. So, what would be your top three craftsmanship tips?
One, never give up. Just because you make a mistake in something doesn't mean it can't be fixed.
Hmm.
And I actually had a friend who taught me that. And they're like, you know what? Just remove those stitches, start over. It's
Yeah,
that's honestly a big one. Just because you make a mistake or it doesn't come out the way you wanted, don't give up. Try again. Thomas Edison himself said that. He goes, when he was asked why did he failed 1,000 times for the light bulb. He goes, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I just learned 1,000 times on what not to do. So honestly,
yeah,
that is a huge tip. Two, I would say really research on how to do something. Like when I made the Iron Man, if I did not do my research, there's no way that I figured that out at all. To be able to know how to mold that EVA foam, what kind of
right.
color to get for the paint. If I didn't do my research, no way would I be able to do what I did. And it's a
Exactly.
full suit that fits a man, so it took a lot.
Yeah.
um, I would say is to put your own twist to it. I
Mm.
really love when people with cosplays when they put their own touch into it. So for me, I'm very into bling and sparkles and shiny things. I like to say it has a sparkle and a shine. It will be mine.
It's the princess in you.
It really
Yeah.
is. So so I would say have your own touch to it. So I'm actually working on a Harley Quinn right now, but I'm actually doing a ball gown version.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
So
it's really interesting how people can take their own twist to the cosplay. A lot of cosplayers like to go for the authenticity of the character, and then some cosplayers like to take the let's do a cosplay twist. Whereas, like one of my friends, he likes to cosplay, but kind of like how Fat Thor was created, he does
uh-huh.
those type of things. So it's like
Okay.
he'll be like Deadpool, like waking up in the morning with a cup of coffee, and
Oh,
like
that's so fun.
or he'll do Spider Man, like going to school, or like or whatever, and
See, that's fun, and
yeah,
but I also like tradition as well. So my actually my poison ivy
yeah,
is going to be the traditional comic book version that I fell in love with as a kid. So I am, and that's why I'm doing the full leaves and everything. And I
nice,
actually had a pull up asking if I should do green skin or non green skin because she has both.
yes,
So
yeah, she
it's
does,
but I am doing this one based off tradition.
yeah. I saw one poison ivy where she had the green skin all the way up to her neck, and that was it. And like it was kind of like crawling up to her, so it's almost full green skin. But
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And I've seen where um, I saw this one guy who was just dressed as a like a normal guy you would think, but then he had venom going up his arm and up to his like
Oh,
uh,
that's cool.
up to his skin. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. It's like it's kind of like the almost venom,
Yeah, like
you know,
like in mid transformation.
yeah, mid transformation. It's pretty cool. It's really interesting to see how cosplayers put their own spin to everything. So, what is the worst cosplay horror story that you have? Like one of the worst, because there's always like where everything goes right and it's like a perfect cosplay day, and then everything goes wrong.
Yeah, I've got
Couple.
a few of those.
Yeah.
So one time I had to change from character to character, and the other next character had to be was a corset,
Okay.
not for string, and I'm like, who's got shoelaces?
Who's got shoelaces? It will work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, otherwise it's just gonna fall right off. So I had to
Yeah.
have something. So that was interesting. Also when I first finished Iron Man,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, was coming apart first time wearing it.
Yep.
That was fun. Who's
Like
got
no,
duct
no,
tape?
no. Yeah. Yeah. Who's got duct tape, right? So
And,
it's funny because when you were creating the Iron Man cosplay, why didn't you go for now? Fans are going to kill me for this. I don't remember what Pepper's cosplay or her hero name was in Iron Man. I just who Pepper Potts when she became the Iron Man, kind of like
shoot.
Aurora Gemini. Nope,
No.
I can't remember.
Oh my God! Excuse me. Cheese and crackers. That definitely wasn't it. Sorry.
No,
Ah, you
yeah,
got me. Oh my
yeah.
God.
It was like that Iron Man, like
Yeah.
because she does an Iron Man cosplay or not cosplay
Yeah.
outfit that is for her, and
Yeah.
yeah, because it would be really hard to do the whole Iron Man for females because you look at a pattern and you're like, okay, here's the pattern for Iron Man. Now I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to manipulate that one because
Yeah, I did the male Iron Man because I also have a business on the side that does like kids' birthday parties,
oh fun.
and so I made the male Iron Man for the guys to wear for the parties.
Oh, so you made the okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but it was
Nice.
fun, and I enjoyed it.
It
It was good.
works. It works. And that's the good thing about it. No, it's always good to have that talent, that skill. Like I said, I don't have and like I made a pair of pants in home ec when I was in junior high school, and it was like this, where it was one leg was normal and the other was shorts. I'm like,
Oh
wait
no.
a second, how is it? And I was the only kid to actually sew his hand. So in the history of sewing. So I'm afraid to go back to it because I really don't feel like going through that pain again. But
Yeah.
my wife, like, she swears by it. She's like, you will not sew your hand. And I'm like, I figured it out.
You're like, I figured out how that can be done.
Yeah, exactly. So, have you ever cosplayed with family member? So with
Oh
your daughter, for instance, probably. Yeah.
yeah. She went as Eevee. She loved Pokemon. Who's a big fan, and
Okay.
so we liked Eevee a lot. So I made her a cosplay, and then I was Miss.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that was a lot of fun. Also, I went as Cinderella, and I also have a son, and he went as Prince Charming.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's fun. So yeah, I've done that a few times.
Nice. And so, what is your favorite cosplay photo of yourself? Would it be that Cinderella one where you're sitting there? Or?
I like that one a lot. I really like the Snow White with the seven piggies because that was a dream of mine for like a year and a half. Because once I got to seven piggies, I was like, oh my gosh, I should still be Snow White and the
And the
seven
seven
guinea
guinea pigs. Yep. Yep.
pigs.
Exactly.
So that was a photo come true for me.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
that was a lot of fun.
So that will always hold a special place for you.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. So
So
have you um Do you prefer to buy pre-styled wigs or do you style them on your own?
Honestly, it depends on the character itself. Um, like for Elsa wig, oh, I'm not style. I can style my own hair, Elsa,
Yeah,
and actually do an amazing job. But when it comes to styling a wig for that, that's I can't really do it. It's just doesn't work the same as your real hair, so I'm not good at
yeah.
that. Snow White, I can do it myself. I
Mhm.
I you learned how to do that, which is good because when I originally bought a Snow White wig, it lost its curls so fast.
Quickly, yeah.
So I had to learn real fast on how do I do this. So
So
you
did
know,
you style that wig yourself?
yeah,
That you're wearing?
yeah, this I should learn from a tutorial from another wig maker where they were posting up all their tutorials and stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's the best tip that I have. Tutorials, tutorials, tutorials. Watch them all the time.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But as you can tell, like like I don't know, like it turned out well,
No,
I
it turned
think.
out really well. Yeah. Yep.
But it's fun and like Ariel, I can do the curls of Ariel, but I
Mm.
can't do that swoop, that
That
bang.
swoop. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
she
don't know
has.
how they do that. I did learn how to do like the swoop of the Elsa with the wigs. I
Mm.
learned how to do just that part, but that's about it for
Yeah, the
Elsa.
whole braid and everything. It's just like, what in the world is going on back there? No,
Yeah,
exactly. So, we're gonna skip the question of all the cosplays you've done because that's a loaded question.
there's too
Uh,
many.
too many. And well, no, for anybody who I would say like is a professional model or cosplayer or anything, you have so many outfits that are out there. You know, so many, and you're like, I can't even count how many outfits I've done. You know, type of
I
thing.
even do Velma from Scooby Doo,
Yeah,
like and Patty, like
yeah, exactly. Because so have you ever lost a piece of your cosplay at a convention or an event? We're just like, wait, where did my armor go, or where did my sleeve go?
yeah, but it wasn't a big deal. There was more than once I can count where a snowflake fell out of my hair as Elsa, like in the braid, which I
Yeah,
don't even understand how that's possible for the snowflake to come out of the braid.
yeah,
And here, it makes no sense to me at all. I lost my Snow White brooch, which I was really upset about. So I need to either make a new one or buy a new one. And so that was actually upsetting. I still haven't replaced that.
yeah. So have you ever purchased anything at a convention, like a part of your cosplay?
Yeah, actually, a few things. Well, for my cosplay itself, no, but I've made purchases, but nothing
Yeah,
for a
like
cosplay.
artwork or anything like that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm a big like pen and paper role playing
A
game
what?
RPGs.
Okay.
So the
Yeah,
paper, roll the dice characters. There's like D&D, Pathfinder, so forth. I play a lot of those. I play a little bit of Pathfinder, Traveler. I love Call of Cthulhu. Love Vampire the Masquerade. Those are my main. So I've bought
nice.
like dice trays there, dice, little boxes,
Yeah,
things like that. I also play a lot of like the big board games too, like Eldridge and
nice.
all you know
Yeah,
Gloomhaven.
I
So I
was
buy
always horrible at those, so I was like, oh, I'm good. Yeah.
they're my favorite. That's what I do for fun.
No, when I started playing Life is Strange, and Life is Strange One goes and talks about like Max and Chloe and everything, and then they have a game called Life is Strange Before the Storm, which follows Chloe and Amber and everything. Well, in that there's this little section where they play like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and you're like, whoa! I'm like, is that what D&D is all about? That's pretty cool. It's like cool. And then Stranger Things, the TV show, made Dungeons and Dragons even more popular. I was like, wait, these kids were playing this? What? It's a 45-hour campaign? What? You know?
Oh yeah. I'm actually a game master right now for one of my groups that I'm in for Call of Cthulhu, and I'm doing Reign of Terror. And then the Reign of Terror goes into the Orient Express. So honestly, this will probably take me 7 months to finish.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah,
Yep.
and of course, Big Bang Theory also did Dungeons and Dragons, where Howard Wolowitz made the dungeon master role like hilarious. You know, and that's the good thing is we have so many things that we do as like a cosplayer, as a like quote unquote nerd, that is just fun for us. Geek, yeah, geek is more the PC term now.
Exactly, because I'm not good at computers, so I'm not a nerd.
There you go.
But
There you go.
I play a lot of video games, and I actually do prefer PC video games over, a console. That's just my preference. Of
As
course,
long
I.
as you have the PC to run it. If you have a horrible PC, then yeah, you're not gonna have fun playing video games.
That's true. I'm actually using a gaming laptop right now.
Yeah.
So, the interview.
So have you ever been mistaken as someone else in cosplay?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was Snow White once, and someone was like, "Oh, Cinderella." Exactly. That's exactly.
Do you have you not seen the movies?
No, I know. And then I was Elsa. Like, oh, Cinderella again. Is every princess just Cinderella?
Well, that I could understand. The blue, the blonde hair, okay. But
Like, but the Snow White to Cinderella was probably the weirdest.
yeah,
Oh my God, just recently. Um, gosh, okay, so I was Captain Marvel,
okay.
and they mistake me for somebody else, and I can't remember who they mistake me as, but it was so funny. I was like, and I mean, it was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. No, it's gonna happen. When one character looks like another character, you're going to get mistaken a lot. But yeah, the whole Cinderella and Snow White thing, that would be interesting.
It was really weird.
You're like, oh, apparently you have not seen the movies yet. So let me
Eh,
educate you.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't someone young either. This person was like in their 40s.
Wow. Mm,
And literally everyone around me was like, "Huh? Did they really just say that?" And I'm like, "They're
yeah.
like, be nice, teachers."
So
Yeah.
yeah, you see it in character. No, it's fine. No. So what would be the funniest story that you have while in cosplay?
Oh, cheese and crackers. Well, I've got like lots where I'm, tripping over my gown and whatnot. I'm pretty short. I'm only 5'3", and so some of my gowns are way too long for me. And so, especially my Snow White, I
Mm,
I
yep.
really need to fix that. Actually, my Snow White is just for me. So as Snow White,
A
I
little
have
too
extra
short.
trips and have fallen for, but caught myself, and of course, I just have to go. Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
you know,
Exactly.
you just gotta like really play it off.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's the good thing is cosplay brings out the actress in you. It's like or the actor.
Mhm.
And it's just like whereas you have to remain in character. I remember when I was in high school, I played Prince Humperdinck and on in the Princess Bride. It was a stage production that we did in high school, and there was a platform, and there was a crack probably about like that wide, and I didn't see it because I didn't have my glasses on because they're like, oh, take off your glasses. Prince Humperdinck doesn't wear glasses. I'm like, hmm. Right? I'm not that rich to afford contacts, so I've never worn contacts before. So let's do this. It's okay. I can see it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So thankfully, it was rehearsal only, and I went up and I went down and I said, you know, they've gotten away, unless I'm wrong. And I stepped right through the crack, and yeah, did the thing that every guy does not want to do, and I stayed in character and I said, and I'm never wrong. They're headed straight for the dead swamp. And so I crawled off stage because I was in immense pain.
Yeah.
My director gets mad and he's like, "Why did you break character?" I'm like, "Let me kick you. Let me
Oh my.
kick you." And so that's the thing is when you fall, like you have to stay in character because that's the whole
Yeah.
thing. You
Oh,
know.
there was one time. God, I can't remember who it was. It was a few years ago. But I was wearing a corset, and the corset hooks in the front, and it came open. I
Oh,
was like,
you're like,
"Oh,
oh, hey, help.
yeah, one moment, be right back."
No.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been one of my vampires, or
Yeah.
because like I do a lot of generic characters too. Um, I think it was one of my vampires because I've got two of my vampires with the hooks in front.
Okay.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. No, that would be one of the embarrassing stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
think I
embarrassing.
think we all have those. I think we all have those though.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this party just got a little different in here.
It's like, okay, it went from G to PG-13 now. Here,
Yep.
okay, we gotta fix this. So, what is the biggest con that you've cosplayed at?
Um, I mean, well, California's pretty big.
Have you ever been to
Oh,
Comic Con in San Diego? Then that's big.
yep. No, I would say that one.
Yeah, like the cosplayer that's pictured right here, Sparkison cosplay up top. He was over at Disney ME, which is
Oh,
like the ultimate Disney Comic Con thing.
very
And
fun.
and he said he was like it was the best experience of his life, and I'm like, wow, I'm like that's a cool con to go to, the
Yeah.
Disney ME, and so that's why when I was talking to my wife, I said if we could get that Doctor Strange outfit, like perfect, that would be
Oh,
amazing to
yeah.
go there to that with that. I'm like that would be cool, but
No,
yeah, like I said, looking for the material is very hard.
yeah, and you can even like mix worlds. Like I've done that with one of my cosplays. I've got a Jedi Elsa.
Oh, a Jedi Elsa, nice.
Yeah, kind of
Okay,
mix worlds a little bit.
that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I was looking at your Instagram, and it's like you don't have all your cosplays up on there.
No, I do not. So I actually had to start completely over. So I
Oh,
have that brand new Instagram, my other Instagram I don't have anymore. So I'm having to completely start over on social media.
did you get hacked? Is that what
I
happened?
did.
Oh man, I hate when people do that.
It's so messed up because I had thousands of followers on my Instagram.
Man, it's like that's the worst thing about technology is the fear that you're gonna get hacked one day. You
I had
know,
thousands. Now I've got like nothing, and it's
it's
like,
all right. You'll build
oh,
up again. Yeah, yeah. It's all about the consistency and the work that you put into it and everything. So,
yeah.
what would you say? Would you prefer to go to cosplay like cons solo, or do you go with groups?
It depends, honestly. If I'm going with a group, are they matching me and theme, or are they at least dressed up? I do have a rule though: if I go with anybody, they have to be dressed up
Of
because
course.
otherwise they're not going to have fun.
Yeah, you have more fun dressed up. This isn't like the '90s where you were the outcast if you went in cosplay. Now this is the 21st century where if you don't dress up, then you are the outcast.
Exactly, and they're just going to be standing there holding my stuff while I'm taking
Mhm.
pictures,
Yeah, exactly.
and nobody wants that.
No,
So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they do. I don't
Unless
know.
unless they're your handler, then hey, hold this. Okay, I'm your handler.
Hey, hey, who knows? Maybe if I get married one day, then he could be the purse holder,
Yeah,
and it would be okay.
yeah. My daughter, she likes to go to these cons because she's my photographer, and so she's my handler. And she's like, oh, here, hold my backpack. Okay, take the picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
she's
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So it's really fun. But so if you had to had the chance to meet one of your all-time favorite cosplayers, who would it be, and what would you say to them?
Tracy Hines.
Tracy
She is,
Hines.
yeah, she's literally one of my favorites. What I like about her a lot is one, her makeup style. There's too
Hmm.
many girls out there that are just so obsessed with Disneyland makeup, and I don't understand it. Because
Hmm.
not all Disneyland makeup is the right way to go for these princesses, for example, and especially because it doesn't match your face or whatnot, or it's not the right
Yeah.
take on the character. But I love Tracy Hines' way that she does the makeup for the
Okay.
character. That's honestly probably my favorites. And the way that she styles the wigs and whatnot. I actually have contacted her multiple times and spoke with her about how she does her wigs. So she's actually helped me a lot with how to style the wigs because she does it herself and she does more of a natural look
Nice.
versus super cartoony or it has to be Disneyland accurate. No, 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 no. It doesn't have to be. You want to go off of your face shape, for these
Yeah.
wigs and whatnot. And so I learned a lot from her just by her answering me and speaking to me about it and whatnot. So I would like to actually meet her in person because we've only spoken online.
Yeah, it's because working for Disney, I guess you have to be the Disneyland perfect. But when
Yes.
you're on your own, yeah, it's your own twist. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
And that's the good thing about cosplay is it's your own. It's not somebody else's creation. It's your own creation.
exactly.
So, have you ever done cosplay panels?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever done cosplay panels
I have, yeah,
over
actually a
at
lot of
Comic
it
Cons?
on makeup, makeup, and how to portray the characters. Because that is one good thing when I do become the characters. It doesn't matter if I'm a superhero, a princess from Cinderella's era, or a princess from nowadays, whatever. I can portray the characters. I become
Hmm.
that character,
Very
which
nice.
is really good because that makes a really really big difference when you're the. If you act the same, no matter what you're wearing,
Hmm.
then you're you and not the character. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, I would say I've had a lot of different panels based off of that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about Comic Cons is the panels that you get to be part of and
Mhm.
everything. Now, a lot of people say that due to the pandemic, that we're forced to do more online panels. Like I know Superhero Unlimited does a Couch Con.
Yep.
That's coming up next week. And but is it the same? Would you say it's like or
I
similar?
mean, it's not. So I actually have done the CouchCon for
Okay.
them twice. I'm hoping to jump on to the next one now that because the other last one I unfortunately had a lot of stuff I had to do that weekend.
Hmm.
Um, but so I really do enjoy it, but the interaction is not as it's not there like it is in person. When
Yeah.
you're in person, you get asked a lot more questions, a little more active, more live, and it's more personal one-on-one, which I've always been a huge fan. Obviously, considering what I do, I love the one-on-one interactions. That's more of my thing. But I mean, we have to do what we have to do right now, and it's still fun,
Yeah,
and I still have a good time.
of
You
course.
know,
Yeah, it's all about the group that you're with. If you're
yeah,
with a good group and you're having fun, that's the most important thing. Of course, we don't have Comic Con karaoke. We don't have you know the partying that goes along with it, the cons and everything. But it hopefully with everything with the pandemic, we get a grip on it. Unfortunately, Arizona seems to not have a grip on it right now, and hopefully that gets fixed very soon.
yeah.
Um,
Everything is online like this now,
mhm.
which is fine. But I'm struggling in one aspect of it that is driving me bonkers. Is I am so terrible at the lighting part. So I've got like way too much light here from being in front of a window. So I look like I'm a ghost.
No, actually, no.
I mean, you can't even see like a whole lot of my makeup because I just look so white.
No, yeah, that's the lighting is the most important thing with photography or video,
Yeah,
video film and everything. And
and
it's
that's not.
yeah, and it's also like the I think it's a myth honestly, but they say camera adds 10 pounds, and I'm like, does it
I'm
really though? I'm like me personally, I don't think so, but for me, well, I'm chunky, so it's all good. you know. But it. What would be your ultimate dream cosplay to do then?
Oh, I hate that question so much because there
Have
are
you have
some.
you achieved that already? Like with your poison ivy, because you said that
I,
was like one you wanted to do.
I'm in the process of creating my dream cosplay, and it's Poison Ivy. It's literally
There
been
you
my
go.
dream since I was a little girl. And I also found a picture of me when I was a little girl where I
Mhm.
tried to make actually my first costume as a little
Oh,
girl, and it
nice.
was Sailor Moon. And I still to this day have always wanted to do Sailor Moon. And the only reason why it's holding me back is because Sailor Moon is Sailor Moon. Like everybody does Sailor Moon, and it's always the same because there's not like
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
right.
There was
Yes.
one cosplayer that I met this last convention. she does battle Snow White. So she has all this armor and everything. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. That's a
Yeah.
different take on it. So who knows? You could do a different take of Sailor Moon that is unique.
Well, if I were gonna do Sailor Moon though, I would want to do traditional Sailor
You
Moon.
got to do traditional. Well, yeah, because it was
Yeah, that's
like
what I thought it was.
for my age people, we grew up with Sailor Moon, and when you're 38 and you were too old for Dragon Ball Z, but Sailor Moon was your
I'm in my 30s, thank you, and I started with Dragon Ball, so
See, I don't know. I'm 38, and I think I was too old for Dragon Ball when it came out, and
no,
then or Pokemon as well. And it's like I
yeah,
think I was a little too old, and I'm like I didn't really get into that whole area. Like honestly, like this character behind me, everybody's like, oh yeah, I know that character. I'm like I have no clue who it is. I don't know. I won it in a raffle, and I'm like it looks cool. And it's like, that's
yeah,
from Dragon Ball Z, dude. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
that's
So
funny.
that's one of the animes I'm gonna get to it and get down to it and
Yeah.
watch eventually. So what do you think is the most difficult thing about cosplay?
Hmm. Um, most difficult. Um, I mean, you're on your feet a lot, and if you're not wearing the right kind of shoes, that could suck. So that I would
Right.
say. Also, the competition of it. I don't like that, and I wish that some people weren't so competitive of it. I
Mm-hmm.
remember one time I was Elsa at Comic Con when it was Comic Con and not Transfusion. And there was this I was taking pictures or people taking pictures of me, excuse me, and this girl at this booth runs up. She goes, "Oh my gosh, you're just the cutest Elsa I've seen and everything." And this other Elsa walks by, and she was so angry and just mean, and was like
I
very.
always laugh at those people. I'm like, why are you mad?
How do we take a picture together? Like, you
Right?
know, why? Why do you have to be that way?
Yeah.
That I don't. That for me is probably one of the most difficult parts for me emotionally. I'm a Libra,
Yep.
so I like all peace and
Same.
love, and
Yep.
and I don't like tension. I don't like that. So for me, that's probably the hardest part of it.
How unfortunately though Libras do cause some of the craziness though. It's true. We like to stoke the fire and walk away.
I don't. I'm literally that just keeps quiet. Oh my
Yep.
dog.
Oh yeah, no, dogs are gonna go off. That's I'm surprised my dog hasn't barked yet. Like
Yeah,
we're
mine were.
my wife's probably muzzling her. She's like, shh, quiet. He's doing an interview. No,
I live in a two-story house. How am I still here?
yeah,
I think someone's at the door. My
yeah.
daughter's told it.
Yep. No, and that's the great thing about cosplay is you're always going to be able to have that interaction with people. It is whether it's good, whether it's bad. There's always the drama of cosplay, which luckily I've not been part of yet. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But it is that where people are in a competitive like mentality, and in one hand, I would agree with it because I've known cosplayers who've gotten paid like thousands of dollars to go to Comic Con in Texas, but
Yeah.
she wouldn't have gotten that contract if she wasn't the best type of thing, and that's where it's hard. It's just like where do you draw the line of saying, okay, as you as a model, you have to be the certain right type of look, otherwise you're kicked to the curb, and you're like, geez, it's like it's a cutthroat business. Even in acting, when I was looking into acting and everything, it's a cutthroat business. If you don't look the part, gone. And unfortunately, as a profession, cosplay can be really cutthroat. But as for fun, it's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's you definitely have to make sure you look the part and you are the part, and that's the biggest thing. And the thing that I would say number one tip for everybody who wants to do cosplay is you need to be that part.
Hmm.
You have to be it.
Yep. And I always reiterate on every single interview that we do is cosplay does not equal consent. It does
No,
not.
nope. Not at all. Not at all.
No, because I've seen it so many times where kids, adults, older people just run up to cosplayers like, "Oh, I love your cosplay," real quick, and touching it. I'm like, "What are you doing, bro?"
I know. I've had little girls, especially, run, which I'm fine with.
Well, yeah,
I'll run.
little kids, yes, okay,
I
but
had like little girls that are up to me and just literally just go like all over my front.
you're like,
Literally
"Hi, little one."
going around, and it's like, oh, hi.
You're
Get
like,
little friends here.
teach your kid not to be too friendly, please. Yeah, yeah.
So
No, but it is so hard to really, you know, what I also do like not like is when somebody just takes a picture of you and you go, "Hey, tag me in your photo," and they're like, "No." What away, like, dude, I'm a cosplayer. I'm doing this for a living, type of thing. Type of thing. I've seen
or
that multiple times.
when you're doing something stupid,
Oh yeah, and then you see it online.
like, like
Eating a hot dog or like a donut. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're like, why did you take that picture?
like really,
If
what?
I could take the picture, but just let me know, huh?
Right?
It'll be fun. Like you're eating a donut, huh? Not
It,
have it all over your face and everything. It's like, come
I
on.
know you're all messy and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like, no, don't post that, don't post that.
yeah.
Or I hate when people take a picture of me while I'm in the middle of laughing. I hate my like real smile from laughing so much. So I hate
Uh,
it with a passion. I'm like, no, don't post that one.
it's
Don't.
like I have to be in the moment. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I do.
exactly.
The
Yeah.
right smirk for Elsa, or the right smile for the princesses, or the right like serious smile as a superhero, whatever.
Hmm.
But when I'm mid laugh, oh, I hate that smile so much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because you're trying to portray something that you're not is not the normal, and so you have to put the whole acting thing into it.
I
So
have like white teeth, and so
you have a
or
what?
I have super white teeth.
Yeah,
And so when if I'm at mid smile where I'm like laughing, smiling, it's just big shiny white teeth, and I hate that. This looks
it's
so terrible.
all teeth. No,
Yeah,
yeah, no. Well, the thing is, like a lot of people would kill to have white teeth, but they just have to go do the procedure. It's not hard. It's
yeah,
called bleaching your teeth. You're good.
yeah, oh,
And it's like it doesn't take that long. But
yeah.
what do you think is the most difficult character makeup you have done personally?
When I first started out with Elsa, that was a little bit tricky because she has certain pink, she has a certain purple, she has a certain lip color. There's a lot of certains to her that honestly, that when people are portraying Elsa, if they don't have those colors down, it's just not right. It
Yeah.
just doesn't look right. And,
Okay.
and so it took me a lot of playing around to find the right purples, the right pinks, the right eyeliner shape, the
Yeah.
right lip color, because it just makes a big difference when you've got it correct in
Yeah.
order
And
to be able.
here I always thought she had red lips. That was
And she does. It's like a
it.
purplish burgundy. It's interesting, and so I actually just
Mhm.
combined two different colors to make that color.
Oh.
And same thing with the eyeshadow. It's like the purple and the pink, and then it blends in, and then the eyeliner shape, like there, and then the white, like there's just a lot to it.
Yeah.
So that one I would say was a challenge. And then also with Ariel, I struggled a lot with her because
Hmm.
there's Disneyland Ariel, and then there's different cosplayer versions of Ariel. But once Tracy Hines, her Ariel makeup was the one that fit me. Because
Yeah.
again, all of us are different shapes, different skin tones, whatnot. And Tracy Hines was the one for Ariel that worked the best for me. And everybody's so obsessed with doing a Disneyland version, but that doesn't work for everybody. So
No,
you
it
got to find
doesn't.
what works for you. So for me, I would say those two characters were my biggest.
Yeah. No, it's especially when you see people who are cosplaying anime characters. They put on a cake of makeup and it's like, whew, you don't even look like human anymore, man. You're
I
porcelain.
know. And I actually had fun doing that. I really did. Like, the white under here, and
Yeah.
then I learned your eyes are bigger than the contacts. I actually had a lot of fun with that. Even though there was a lot to it, I
Yeah.
had fun. For me, it wasn't a whole lot of like work. I don't know. I guess with all the tutorials out there, it worked well for instant. You know what I mean? It was
No,
just
yeah.
Elsa and Ariel that took different variations to find what worked for me.
Yeah, I think it's anytime I have to wear makeup, like I wear makeup on my Link cosplay and everything, my wife like goes into like giddy girl mode and she's like, I'm putting makeup on my husband. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, yeah. So what do I do? I just sit here. He's like, yeah, just sit there. I'm like, because she's trying to get the elf eyes just perfect, and she's watching
Mhm.
tutorials. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get your elf eyes perfect, and I'm like, all right, and I'm sitting there going. 3 hours later, I'm like, I can't. My ADHD is not doing well right now.
No,
Um, yeah.
really.
So, what is your favorite part of cosplay? Would you say?
Being that character.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Is it like is the being the character because you get to escape your reality, or just being the character because you love the character so much?
Being the character because I love it.
Hmm.
That's one of my favorite things to do is to be the characters that I actually do love.
Now, you
You
said
know,
you run a business where you host birthday parties.
uh huh.
Oh, that's
Yep.
very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Of course, during the pandemic, it's going to be like drive-through birthday parties.
Yeah. Non-existent. So I do video chats.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard to do it with the pandemic. But of course, that's the business mind. Is it's like you adapt, you overcome, you move on. Whereas a
Yeah.
lot of these companies, they're unfortunately closed down. Like Metro Center Mall finally closed down. Holy mackerel! 47
Yep.
years it was open. 47 years. And do you think that's going to be the future of malls in America? Is just they're going to start closing down
Well, unfortunately, even before the pandemic, online selling has really been destroying
the
shopping
malls?
centers.
Yeah, shopping centers in general.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it was already headed down that path, which really is unfortunate because when you buy online, you're not able to try it out.
Yep,
The
exactly.
stores have different, like one they may be small, but at this store an extra small will fit you better, or vice
Yep.
versa for other sizes. And also, just because it may be the right size doesn't mean it fits your body right.
No, exactly, and that's where is a size 36 or size 34. Like at Ross, I can be into a 36, but over at J.C. Penney, I'm a 34 in that same
Yeah,
type of thing. Or the different designers, they have
yeah,
and that's what's unfortunate about the online market is just like here's your pants. I'm like, well, these don't fit, send them back. Wait another week, get pants. Okay, maybe these will fit.
right. I know. I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
The good
Like,
thing
great.
that
Oh, no.
Amazon's return policy is pretty good, so it's always nice. Like, hey, this doesn't fit. I'm gonna send it back in the box. They send you a box to put it back in. It's really nice of them, but
Yeah, I'm
still,
just
it's
bad at returning.
the feel of the fabric and everything. Can you imagine buying fabric online for
No.
for your cosplays?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's insane. And actually, so I've got one individual. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't think he wants his name out there because he doesn't want to help cosplayers. I know that sounds bad, but
Hey,
um, uh,
it's
I've heard
whatever.
because he said he had just made a few comments that they're not his favorite.
Yeah.
But he helped me actually with making some other things of mine personally. I guess
Nice.
just to work. No, I'm just kidding.
He likes
But he
models. He doesn't like cosplayers.
exactly right. He actually likes the whole modeling thing and the gowns and everything. I told him if I ever get married, he has to take my wedding gown because
Very
he's
nice.
amazing. But he is actually going to help me make or do one thing to my poison ivy, and he's going to help me with the corset part. So I made like the whole corset part of it. It's like a one piece, right? But I'm going to put some boning in it for shape. But because I have scoliosis, I don't want to screw it up. So
Right.
he actually knows a way to make it to where it'll bend with my body and not
Oh, very
like
nice. That would
so,
be
and he has
nice.
to know how to do that. And he's done that for my other corsets that I've made, like for my vampire and things like that,
Hmm.
and princesses. So he's going to help me with that part.
Now, is it pronounced corset or corset?
Well, yeah. Sorry.
And
Yeah,
no,
like
honestly, like I don't know.
honestly, it depends on where you're from.
I guess. Yep,
You
depends.
know?
Because Arizona, our accents are totally.
All
everywhere.
over the place, we're a big giant melting pot.
It's hilarious because I went to high school with a kid who was raised on a ranch, and he had a very huge Southern drawl, but he's from Levine, Arizona.
Yeah,
And I'm like, how are you having a Southern drawl? It's like, I don't know. I'm like, you're from Arizona. And then I have another friend who talks like California. And
yeah,
so,
I tend to pronounce words very very harshly.
mhm.
I'm born and raised in Arizona, but my father is from Pennsylvania, so they say words a little different and do pronounce things. My mother's from Germany, so
Wow.
I really pronounce things very harshly.
Okay.
The more the more people in Arizona do.
Yeah.
So
No,
I have
and
I
yeah, it's the Midwest kind of accent, kind of
yeah,
almost Midwestern, kind of Western, kind of mixed.
yeah, like some
Yeah.
people like I say Nevada, some people say Nevada,
Nevada. Yep.
Nevada.
Yep.
I think the mix of the you know
Well, and same with we say Missouri, people in Missouri call it Missouri, and
yeah
so it's just potato, right? As they always say.
exactly.
So I was just wondering, I'm like, is it actually supposed to be pronounced corset or is it corset? Because it's like I've heard like most people say corset, but
Yeah, and I like I said I tend to really pronunciate. So for me it would be
yeah.
corset.
Okay, interesting. So, what do you think is the most difficult thing to do with cosplays?
Getting the costume just right.
Yeah.
I mean, you it literally takes time. So like sewing on all these leaves, like just the ones that I have on right now, you can
Hmm.
see I've just got like an outline of here and an outline on the bottom. But you can't see the bottom, obviously.
No. Yeah.
But
Hopefully
uh,
soon we will in your Instagram. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm just on all his leaves, like just this little section just right here. I have lots and lots of leaves right here because I've got them overlapping,
Yeah.
and so that's time.
And so the
So
whole thing is going to be leaves then.
whole thing,
Whew, that's going to take time.
all right there.
Yep, the whole front and back area. That's that's going to be a lot of time.
And I'm doing that with the gloves too. I'm not done, but I've already started with the whole
So
thing.
are you using like a regular green glove that goes up to here and then putting leaves on the material, I hope?
Yep. And I'm doing so I'm doing like the finger version, like from the comics, because that's what I'm doing the comic version for Poison Ivy because that was my thing when I was little. It was the comic version.
Yeah.
We're going all the way up. It's gonna be solid leaves. You're not gonna see any of the color underneath.
Yeah, for the Doctor Strange outfit, we're going with the End Game Doctor Strange.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like the whole movie version. So my wife's like, okay, the blue has to be like a kind of jean looking, but it has to be linen. And it was like, okay, we have to stress it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you are putting a lot of effort into this, but in the end,
Yeah.
it's gonna look amazing, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'm
Um,
saying doing linen as well will help keep it cool in the summer.
yeah, that's what she keeps saying. I'm like, why can't it be cotton? Why can't it be this? Like, do you want to sweat?
Yeah.
I'll put you in like latex. I don't care.
I mean, do you want to live or die?
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, and that's the thing. So, any last words before we end the interview? Like, of you know, do you want to promote your event that you're doing, or?
I mean, just I would really appreciate the support out there because I'm having to start all over. So if anyone wants to help support me, you can go onto the Facebook page Candie Cosplay or my Instagram Candie Cosplay and invite your friends to like and follow me. That would be amazing because I'm having to start all over. So I would really appreciate support into that aspect. And it just takes a moment to click, you know, invite
Click that
friends.
follow button. You know.
Yeah, click follow, click invite friends, and that would be a tremendous help, and I would super appreciate
Yeah,
it. So have it all over.
and remember, it's Candy with an IE.
Yes, not a Y. I'm very, very big about that. It was the name Candy, not the candy you eat.
Yep. Yeah. So, well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview and amazing cosplay, by the way. And we look forward to seeing the finished product.
Oh, absolutely. I should have it done, honestly, for about 3 weeks, I'm guessing.
Nice. Very nice. Not going to be too stressful. Huh? All right.
Oh,
Well,
I,
well, thank you again for your time.
absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
All right. So with that, guys, we'll end the stream, and make sure you follow down below twitch.tv/interview cosplay interview. Also, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook and everything like that. So, guys, thank you for hanging out, and see you next Saturday as we interview two new cosplayers.